Do you feel bad for Dolphins players?
No, I don't. If you can't play, you can't play. It's really, really that simple. We understand that the Miami Dolphins, there's no secret what's going on here. I'm not going to sit up there and accuse the Miami Dolphins of tanking games. I'm certainly not going to do that. But what I will say is that they know they stink, and they know that it's going to be a while before they get better. That's the reality of the situation. And it didn't just start. Suddenly Chris Greer becomes the general manager like he did 3 or 4 years ago, and suddenly Brian Flores is your head coach, and now you stink. No, you've been stinking. You've made the playoffs once since 2009. That's your situation with the Miami Dolphins. You gave Ryan Tannehill $95 million. Couldn't get it done. You did a lot of things. Couldn't get it done. It wasn't working. And so what you have is a situation right now where the players are trying to point the finger at the coaches and questioning their intent, even more so than their competence. What proof are they using? Oh, we thought the game plan was that Lamar Jackson is going to run with the football. He's not going to throw the deep ball. He's not capable of throwing the deep ball. So when he connected with a 47-yard touchdown pass to Hollywood Brown, or an 83-yard touchdown pass to Hollywood Brown, or to Willie Snead for a 33-yard hookup, there was no safety help on the back end once the corners got burned. That's their argument. So we saw that this guy clearly could throw the deep ball because he ended up completing 85% of his passes, Lamar Jackson that is, and we made no adjustments whatsoever. So as a result, you're saying they can't be that incompetent. It must have been intentional. And my response to that is, for recent memory, no matter what the Dolphins have done, too much hasn't worked for them. And so to me, clearly you got a new head coach. There's probably this mandate that, we're going to rebuild. We're not going to spend as much money as we did in the past. We're going to unload some things. We're going to retool. We're going to try to position ourselves to get high picks in the future. I get all of that. But that doesn't mean that the coaches that are on the field are intentionally giving you wrong things schematically to throw football games. And to give that kind of impression, I think any player that contacted their agent and is given that kind of impression is wrong. You knew what you were walking into when you signed a contract to take the job with the Miami Dolphins. Deal with it.
I do feel bad for the players. Stephen A., in an ideal world, you're right that the players would and should react differently, right? If you're just not that talented, and there's talent on every NFL roster, but by those standards, the Miami Dolphins are just not talented. Like, look in the mirror. Why is that a reason to quit? You guys should try to come together, all those things. But the reality is, you understand, if right before the season starts, one of your very talented players, your left tackle, Tunsil, who is considered an elite guy at his position and is young and improving, if he's dealt away and Stills is dealt away, the message that is being sent to that locker room by management is, we think the rest of you stink. I mean, we're not going to give you any help, and we're not going to put you in a position to win. And that message has been received by the locker room. Yes, the players should handle this better. Nevertheless, even if you're rebuilding, there is a way to do that properly where you don't lose a locker room and lose all hope. And this is an example of a bad, ugly situation where because of the way, it's not just coaching, it's not coaching. By the way, I almost kind of include the coaches in with the players. The way the organization is thinking about the present and future, they have not done it artfully or deftly in a way that has a team still trying. We've seen this in recent years with teams that we know have no hope. The Jets a couple of years ago, boy, they're playing hard, even though they're not talented and can't win yet. There's a way to do it. This is not that way. And the locker room has reacted. Of course I feel bad for them. It's not that they're behaving optimally. It's that they're in a bad situation. And when it falls apart like this, you have one of two arguments to make. Either this locker room is filled with guys who just don't get it, or the organization doesn't get it. And to me, it seems the organization doesn't get it. So I feel bad for the players.
Well, you could say the organization doesn't get it. I could say this is not new. If we're looking at them with the Tunsil trade that you brought up, right? They traded Tunsil. They traded Kenny Stills, who had a touchdown pass last night, by the way. Congratulations to him. All right? What did they get in return, Max? They got a 2020 first-round pick, a 2021 first-round pick, a 2021 second-round pick as well. So you're looking at a Miami Dolphins squad right now. They've acquired 4 first-round picks and 3 second-round picks to reload their roster. Oh, my God, stop the presses. We haven't seen that before? Of course we've seen that before. Plenty of NFL teams have seen that before. I don't recall hearing anybody talking about, excuse me, I want to contact my agent. I want to get the hell up out of here because I think coaches are throwing games. No. You're retooling. You're clearly not focused on this season. We get all of that. You're not going anywhere. You know it. You're in the same division as the New England Patriots. So one would argue you've known for the last 20 years you ain't going no damn place. But in the end, when you look at the picks that they have accumulated, this is not new. It's happened on a lot of NFL franchises, and I find it a tad bit odd that Brian Flores just comes in as a head coach for the first time after just winning a Super Bowl as a defense coordinator with the New England Patriots, and before he's got a chance to pass gas, we're accusing his staff of either being incompetent or throwing games on purpose when it's clear from an organizational standpoint that they are about accumulating picks to build for the future. You trying to tell me the players and their agents didn't know that prior to the season? Come on, man. I don't believe that.
Stephen A., how much of this is, before I even ask that question, there's a difference between a franchise and a team. Yep. The team is the particular iteration of a franchise, right, that year. You're absolutely right. I'd have made those deals too. Get those first-round picks in. There is still a way to do that where you collect the right number of veterans, leaders, et cetera, where the whole current iteration of the team doesn't fall apart. You can lose every game, but still not quit because you're simply not good enough. Right. This is a team that has totally fallen apart.
Thank you so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.